Most internet trolls stop trying to shock people once they hit a certain age, but for Eric, known online as Vampdaddyevil, the search for online attention only got darker. He built an online brand around a gothic, youth-obsessed persona, using extreme rage bait and edgy humor to stay relevant. But what Eric calls satire and dark humor, the internet calls a pattern of manipulation, predatory behavior, and dangerous red flags. This is the breakdown of an internet personality who crossed the line from being a cringeworthy troll to a genuinely dangerous online figure. Eric, whose last name has been reported as Grayon across multiple platforms, first gained traction on TikTok in early 2023 by posting fitness content and videos about the gothic subculture. His early content was not particularly alarming, just gym clips, dark aesthetics, and a few opinionated captions about right-wing politics that drew predictable criticism from the alternative community he was supposedly a part of. Then he gained prominence, and his following grew substantially. The gothic and emo subculture already trends heavily toward left-leaning and LGBTQ inclusive politics. So Eric's posting TikToks, defending Trump while wearing eyeliner and trying to appeal to alt girls was always going to go badly. He says, "I don't get why people are so upset about Trump winning. After the Olympics, I thought Democrats liked watching a man beat a woman." He also chose to publicly defend Lucifer Valentine, a film director known for making violent fetish content that exploits women, which more or less tells you everything you needed to know about where his values actually sat. What made Eric different from the average cringe TikToker was the specific audience he was trying to build. He does not cultivate a following of people who agree with him or who genuinely find him entertaining. He cultivates an audience of young, mentally ill, or emotionally vulnerable girls, and he does it deliberately. From his X account, you could already tell what you get from him. His pinned post is a picture of his junk placed side by side with a Monster Energy drink with the caption, "How much do you love Monster Energy drink?" His content formula is consistent. He films himself at the gym to project physical dominance, then adds captions designed to appeal to teenage girls who are drawn to the idea of being protected by a scary-looking older man. One caption reads, "I look so scary and I'm so full of hate, but deep down all I want is to be her safe place." He also openly promotes DDLG dynamics, which stands for Daddy Dom Little Girl, in his content. He posted early in his TikTok career saying he did not care if people found it gross, that he cared more about making his girlfriend happy than about what anyone else thought. For those unfamiliar, DDLG is a relationship dynamic in which the couple roleplay a daddy-daughter power dynamic. DDLG is an acronym that stands for Daddy Dom Little Girl. DD/LG is a type of BDSM relationship where the dominant partner takes on the role of a nurturing, OR strict caregiver, that is daddy, while the submissive takes on the role of a youthful child, that is a little girl. The reason people find it alarming in Eric's specific case is not simply the kink itself, but who is in his audience and who he is broadcasting it to. His comment sections, almost from the beginning, were populated with young teenagers. Some had their ages right there in their bios. Eric has been documented replying to girls who are clearly minors with flirty comments saying things like, "Hey babe," and "TikTok knows I'm your type." "Who are you actually about to cry? Why have you shown up on my FYP for the past 4 days? TikTok knows I'm your type." At the time, you could clearly see that the account owner was 16, as stated in their bio. He also does not try to push these minors away when they show up in his content. He does not mind an underage audience, as long as he is not technically breaking the law. There was a time when he made a video saying he wouldn't groom children, no matter how much they wanted him to. He framed this as though it were even an option he should be considering. He uses words like, he knows it sounds crazy that he doesn't want to do it, and he even apologized to his followers for not wanting to groom children.
Yeah, so I didn't expect this video to kind of, for photos to blow up. Last seconds in, I'm already messed up. So I didn't expect these photos to really blow up or get the attention they did. I appreciate it, don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry, I'm not actually in the minds. I'm not going to groom any of you, and I know that sounds crazy to say, like, I'm sorry I'm not going to groom you, but I'm seriously getting so many comments like this. Like, I'm sorry, guys. To know, Vampdaddy, I think he's still a thing.
But then, as we would later find out, some of his actions have negated what he said about not being into children. He generally chose snack preferences carefully enough for people to notice. In one post, he listed his post-gym favorites as cupcakes and lollipops. Those are not gym snacks. Those are items that signal to a very specific audience that he is curating for. He eventually said he wanted to dress girls up, own them like dolls, and treat them delicately because they have porcelain little doll hearts. This was not posted in a private message. This was a video he filmed, edited, and uploaded intentionally to his public profile.
When I see a girl that I like, and when I'm with them, and believe me, you will know if I like them. I will let you all know that I like them. I refer to them as a doll, not in a dehumanization type, but in the sense that they transcend humanity. Like there's something so much more than that. And yes, I do want to dress them up, and I do want to own them like they are a doll, and I want to treat them delicately because they are...
One might think that this was an innocuous, or even mistake it for, a sweet video that shows his intention to treat women nicely, and even to care for them like a princess. That would be a grave error, as from what is seen from him, when he equally fantasized about kidnapping women. He also once posted a video with the caption, "Vibing to music, while knowing you are the reason multiple girls are in therapy." Clearly, someone who wants to treat women like princesses would not have such thoughts. The way he defends his behaviors is another point of concern. When confronted about the DDLG content and his fixation on younger partners, Eric always has the same response ready. He says his own name makes the answer obvious, pointing out that someone called Vampdaddyevil is clearly kinky, and people should not be surprised. That deflection's worth sitting with for a moment. He is essentially saying that his online brand pre-excuses his behavior. He built the name, the persona, and the aesthetic specifically, so that he could point back to them and say, "You should have known what you were getting into." This all goes to show that the whole DDLG affairs, which he openly promotes, was a way to reinforce the fact that he is the dominant one and the girls which he dates, or he would date, are all dull and should all be beneath him. Check out one of the posts he made a few months back. He says, "It's enraging and painful to lose a doll. They fail to understand their place in life, to serve me, and to feel complete beneath me. I want to be able to use a doll whenever and however I want. Unfortunately, I haven't met one that properly submits, and that leading me to become tired of it, bored of it, or not interested. When I grow dissatisfied by their actions, I simply want to put it away, to get it out of my sight, out of my life until it's ready to obey again." From the words he uses, such as obey, submits, and beneath, you could see a pattern of who he is. Although these are all attempts to rage bait people into engaging with his content, it still goes to show who he is as a person. These all clarify why his statement about not being into children may not be completely true after all. But there is more evidence to refute that statement as we go deeper into the video. It will also manifest in his opinion on age gap relationships. What started as a desire to be the scariest and most dominant figure in a corner of the internet would in time become a farce the internet could not look away from, as people began to see him as dangerous. Can we do an updated version of this? His legit being a risk. He just went from Ohio to Tennessee to see a girl who's super vulnerable. He also is currently victim blaming a girl who he tried to So why did everyone start to see that his gothic-themed gym videos are a ruse to something much darker? Eric understands the TikTok algorithm very well. He knows that outrage spreads faster and wider than almost anything else on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So he frequently uses extreme, graphic, and highly offensive content specifically designed to make viewers angry. At the time of his fame, his most viral post was a video using the song Little Girls by Oingo Boingo, which is a song about an adult man's obsession with underage girls. He knew exactly what the song was. He knew exactly what kind of attention it would bring. He filmed the video, chose the audio, and posted it anyway. Again, this was just him being true to his style of rage-baiting people to engage in his content. The response from his comment section was, predictably, people accusing him of being into minors, which then led him to post a follow-up video where he said, and these are his actual words, "I'm sorry, I'm not actually in the nines. I'm not gonna groom any of you."
I'm sorry, I'm not actually in the nines. I'm not going to groom any of you.
Since then, his most popular videos have been clips of him talking about girls, where he put some weird and oddly specific captions, like saying. And then in another video, he said, "It hurts, Daddy, when you remind him he is 30. In fact, when you go through his TikTok, his most popular videos all have something in common. They are mostly about girls in a disparaging or sexual manner. Just like the time he said he liked to pee in his girlfriend.
Sometimes I like to pee in my girlfriend and call her Daddy's little water balloon."
He actually tried to frame all of these as rage bait content to get viewers regardless of whether they are haters or fans. He posted content claiming he was dating someone just to sell them on the deep web, framing it as edgy humor. He made this post while he was already known to be a person of interest in his ex-girlfriend's disappearance, which made the joke land somewhere in the vicinity of self-incrimination rather than comedy. He also openly bragged in videos about having a restraining order issued against him, treating it as proof of how dangerous and desirable he is, rather than as evidence that someone was so afraid of him that they went to a judge. He then allegedly violated that order and posted about it. In one clip, he posted a video fantasizing about kidnapping his ex-girlfriend, not as a distant abstract joke, but as a direct first-person fantasy, delivered casually and posted publicly. It seemed to be in brand for him. But then things get darker when you start to consider his behaviors towards minors. Even this, he refuses to clear up the allegations surrounding it. His pinned TikTok post, the first thing anyone sees when they visit his profile, reads, "I will not be clearing up any rumors or allegations. If you think I did it, I probably did do it. And if I didn't, I might." This is pinned. He chose it. That pinned post exists for two reasons. The first is to perform the dangerous edgelord persona that he has built his entire online brand around. The second is that it is written by someone who actually believes the persona is protective cover. That if everything is a joke, nothing can be used against him. Then this last month, he posted another video with the caption, "responding to allegations," but he ended up talking about how his hair is fuzzy.
Hey guys, this is going to be sadly more of a serious video. There have been a number of allegations against me, and I think that as a man, it's finally time that I just need to stand up and respond and apologize for what I've done. And I've decided that I need to change. Many of you have brought to my attention that my hair has become frizzy, dirty, messy, greasy, dry, what have you. So, in response, I've gone out and purchased myself a hair mask treatment. I am so sorry for what I've done by letting my hair get kind of greasy and dirty, and I hope that you can forgive me all moving forward.
What the rage bait framing was always doing was providing plausible deniability for behavior that was showing up in private messages, in leaked screenshots, and in the real-world outcomes of his relationships, none of which looked like jokes at all. A major turning point in the public scrutiny surrounding Eric was his behavior toward a TikTok girl known as Ray, also known online as Sick and Pretty. The reason this specific situation became so widely discussed was the timeline. Eric was one of Ray's top live gifters on TikTok, consistently sending money to her live streams before she turned 18. He was commenting on her content and publicly engaging with her drama while she was a minor. Problem was that Ray herself had some dark things about her. People called her out as a racist and a lolcow. That was when Eric immediately came into the frame, saying it was gross for adults to bully an 18-year-old girl. Call me weird for sticking up for Ray being betrayed right now, but the way a bunch of adults are bullying a teenage girl is genuinely gross. This way, he was able to frame himself as the one grown adult willing to stand up for her when the rest of the internet was piling on. But then again, this is not him being chivalrous. It was just in his style to target girls who are vulnerable and young. When she turned 18 and immediately launched an adult subscription page, Eric subscribed the same day. It didn't take long for him to confirm this after putting up a video thanking people for piling up on her and making it easy for him to properly enter her life.
And I want to give a special shout out to all the people who bullied her and put her self-esteem down to make it easy for me.
That is him in his own words, acknowledging that he waited for her to become vulnerable enough to be accessible to him, and thanking the people who helped make that happen.
Yeah, I did. And I want to give a special shout out to all the people who bullied her and put her self-esteem down to make it easy for me.
When confronted about the predatory optics of his behavior toward Ray, Eric gave one of the strangest possible answers. He said, "I do not view Ray as a girlfriend. I view her more like a daughter. I view her more like a pet." I really hope this can go ahead and clear some things up for you guys.
A lot of anger, disdain, and misinformation going around everywhere. So I want to go ahead and clear this up. I do not view Ray as a girlfriend. I view her more like a daughter. I view her more like a pet. I really hope this can go ahead and clear some things up for you guys.
It did not clear anything up. He had just purchased her adult subscription page and was calling her a daughter and a pet within the same sentence, which is two of the specific kink dynamics he talks about openly on his public profile. So, more than anything, the whole viewing her as a daughter meant something much more than just a parental relationship. Many people started calling his attention to the fact she was way younger than he was, but he was not fazed by it. Instead, he responded in the most ridiculous way possible, putting up a video with a caption that suggests that grooming minors is, in fact, a trait of his. It then becomes imperative to categorically understand where Eric stands in an age gap relationship. It's not that his actions so far haven't already explained his stance, but getting clarity was just as important, as it would confirm what many people have been thinking. So, when asked directly about age gap relationships, Eric defended them, saying that the younger partner benefits from having someone more mature and knowledgeable. He then said it was his role as a man to be the provider and the knowledgeable one in the relationship.
So, have I been in age gap relationships? Yeah, of course. Let me ask you this though. Is that really a bad thing? When it comes to an age gap, there's a big maturity difference, yes. But this means one person is going to be able to benefit from having a partner that's a lot more mature and knowledgeable than topics that they might not be too aware of and may need to learn.
Then on his X app, he reposted this image which illustrates his stance on age gap relationships. The caption says, "It's the kind of sizes difference you really want to see," or something like that. He also cited his own experience in a relationship with an older woman when he was 18, framing it as proof that age gap relationships can be healthy and beneficial. What he was actually describing was an adult woman in her 30s who pursued him when he was a teenager, which is the same dynamic he was now recreating from the other side.
I myself used to be in a relationship with a woman who was 36 when I was 18. In the time I was with her, I managed to learn a lot about things, and I really loved that woman, and we did some amazing and beautiful things together. And yeah, sure, things might not have been conventional, but I still think it was a very healthy and beneficial relationship that I really...
That kind of revealed he was groomed by an older woman, so he sees no problem doing that to younger girls now that he is older, especially since, as a man, it is his role to be a provider.
Enjoyed. Yeah, there have been a number of 18-year-old women that I've dated, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I'm not saying going after a younger partner is good. In fact, I would go so far as to argue that I disapprove of someone going after someone younger even more than you do. But as a man, it's my role to really step up and be the provider and knowledgeable one who can give all the reassurance that someone could need.
Now, it's important to consider that he was groomed by an older woman. This provides an explanation that his childhood trauma might have defined his now behavior to an extent. In another post, he wrote about this childhood experience, saying, "To be completely honest, there was a time in my life where I was specifically after younger women. I was in a relationship with a 36-year-old Dama when I was 17. I continued going after women that age per her request, as she enjoyed watching pretty young girls hurt. I did this until I was 20, and she left me, never telling me why, with me." He also made another post, seemingly of the same woman, because his own age had changed, and he wasn't specific about the woman's age. But his overall point was that he was groomed, and this turned him into who he is today. "I can't sleep. I can't stop thinking about the things I've done in the name who I fell in love with just to be thrown away. She took on when I was 16, and made me the way I am when she was in her 30s, and we did things to multiple girls. And I want to vent and be able to get it out there and not carry this burden, but I know I can't ever speak about it. And worse, deep down, I know I enjoyed doing it. I don't play that role anymore. I'm not that kid who helped her. I've gone so much further than she ever could. But the only thing that makes the nights easier is rushing into destructive romantic tendencies of telling innocent girls that I'll give them everything if they become dependent on me." The problem with Eric was that he was self-aware enough to understand that his childhood trauma had played a role in who he has become. However, he has instead owned these harmful behaviors instead of genuinely seeking help. This would translate significantly into all of his relationships, if we can call them that anyway. Eric's relationships have been consistently chaotic, and that chaos has followed a pattern so closely that it's now a playbook. His relationship with Ray ended badly almost immediately after it started. After she blocked him, he posted a TikTok saying, "It's okay that you blocked me. I know you didn't mean it. You're not in trouble. Daddy isn't mad at you. He's right here when you're ready."
Dagger blocked me. I don't even know what I did wrong. Is this because I said someone else was like Griffith and I asked if you wanted to be Judo? I've never even seen Berserk. I don't know the characters.
The way he announced they broke up was also weird. He puts up a caption that says, "Going after Sick and Pretty the moment she turned 18 is so wicked." And then he just says, "Ray and I broke up." As it turned out, their relationship was not a smooth one. As expected, Eric had tried to own, just like anyone would expect. In one of the leaked messages he sent to her, he said, "Honestly, I get so fucking jealous and annoyed thinking about any guy you fucked around with before me. I'm better than Landon, Kevin, Joey, Dredd, etc. Look at me. I'm a god compared to them. They don't even come close to me. They don't compare to me. And I get annoyed thinking about the guys who grabbed you because I want to go further and harder than any other guy. I want to mark you. I want to have my name on you. I want to own you completely. Further leaked messages between them showed a pattern of possessive, controlling behavior that escalated rapidly. He even outright said he was grooming her. Not even going to lie, I'm jealous because I want to have been the one to groom you. I'm grooming you now in a way, but it's just the early process of being sweet before the up shit. But fortunately, you're stupid enough to be into that. I'm taller, bigger in every way, better looking, more mature. You're so lucky I talked to you. I want you to touch yourself thinking about me and to ask for permission. You're just a little girl. He expressed jealousy about men she had been involved with before him, told her she was lucky he was talking to her, and said she owed him obedience. The messages goes on, and they all confirm the fact that he targets vulnerable underage girls or very young adults to make his little dolls. But of course, Ray was not his only victim. A TikToker with the username XXXKatrina XXX came forward, claiming Eric had been in contact with her when she was 15. She alleged that he had sent her explicit messages and threats, and that he knew her age. Eric responded with a series of videos claiming she had told him she was 18, producing screenshots that she said were fake and did not involve her. The bigger question is why'd she never say she was anything but 18 when I was 19/20, and then continue messaging me after she cheated. I have proof, by the way. She then publicly posted their messages asking him to come out and provide an explanation on how they are fake. And also, the claim that she informed him she was 18 was one she would not let stand. Explain these messages between us then, Eric. Just admit you knew I was 15 instead of sitting in my comments lying to make yourself look good. It seemed like when discrediting her would not work, Eric resorted to calling her names and straight up saying she was ugly.
How the f*** are you gonna look like this? Do shit like this? Or like this? And have the nerve to sit behind a screen and call me f***ing ugly. Not just ugly, but specifically a chopped labubu? You didn't think I was fucking ugly when I was 15. Oh god, I forgot. I'm not freshly 18. Or 17. Or 16. So I'm automatically revolting to him. Oops.
There was a time he tried to address the whole pedophile claim and say it was all rage baiting from his side, but all he did was to confirm that he indeed had relationships with minors. He says, dated a 17-year-old at 19, was friends with a 16-year-old on FB. While 19, everyone decided that meant I'm a PD file, and now I rage bait, which makes them more mad. The stalker claims are true, though I 100% get obsessed. Now, while all of these were going on, Eric's ex-girlfriend was murdered, and he was a person of interest in her murder. His post on this was even more cringy. He said losing a girlfriend felt the same as losing a daughter to him, which was a sentence that landed badly for anyone who had been paying attention. This probably explains why many people wondered why anyone would want to date him. His most recent relationship with a TikToker named Callie, also known as Callie the Flower Girl, was the most extensively documented of his relationships and the one that finally produced real-world consequences. The moment he first showed interest in her, this TikToker advised her to run.
Bitch, Callie, I'm gonna need you to run. The stalker from Perfect Blue somehow became real and is after your ass. Run!
Kaylee is a young woman who built her TikTok following around her difficult life circumstances and was known for being in a long-term relationship with a man named Preston.
And you're... Bruh. People are saying this is staged. I wish this was staged. I'm angry as hell right now, y'all.
Hey, I can tell you, this is not staged. This one is not staged.
No, it's not. He beat the shit out of me.
No, that's fake.
That is not fake at all.
That is fake.
That's not fake at all. I got thrown at the sink, y'all. I got thrown at the sink and banged my head on the floor. Whoop, whoop.
Just the same story over and over, isn't it?
Oh, the same story over and over again, isn't it? Maybe you should change the way you fight, bitch. Me pissed off, and I needed advice, and I needed to not get beat, so I had to turn on the camera.
Let's talk.
You're wrong.
Right?
Yeah, I want stable housing.
Listen, spending $300 on an Airbnb in a place like this is so much cheaper.
But I don't want to get hurt, bro.
You want luxury, and you have to act broke to keep getting more money, if that's how you're going to continue.
And anyone who has been following Eric keenly would know that this was like an invitation for him to jump right in. So he began messaging Kaylee across multiple platforms after she did not respond to his first attempts at contact, sending her love bomb messages telling her she was perfect, that he could explain why she felt the way she did, that she just had not been given the chance to shine, and that he really, really wanted to pursue her.
Hey, so apparently some people seem to think this is all staged and that Callie the Flower Girl and I are doing some sort of weird collaboration where we chase things for clout or chase some clout together. This is absolutely not the case. Preston is actually in jail right now. I've never spoke to Preston. He may have messaged me and I just didn't see it. I did message Callie way back. I have already posted a screenshot of the message to her. I sent it on TikTok. I never got a response on TikTok. After I made a few videos, I actually did reach out to her on Instagram, thinking that she may be more likely to see it. She didn't see it, and then I reached out to her on another Instagram and messaged her some more. And then I tried adding her on Snap and messaging her there, which she didn't see till recently. It looks like she was rather upset about it. She thought I'd be gaslighting her, which big difference between gaslighting and what I'm doing, and she's crazy if she thinks I'm gaslighting her. We did actually get to end up calling just earlier. It was pretty nice. We called for a good number of hours, 5, maybe 6 hours. She's starting to really get the feel of me and what I want and what I'm after. But no, I genuinely am actually after her. Like, this isn't some weird publicity stunt. I do genuinely want her. To the people that are gonna sit there and say, oh no, you can't want her, she's only half your age. Yeah, I think that's why I want her.
Some say he cared for her because she was vulnerable, since she was battling with an abusive boyfriend. But it was all a ruse. He cared, sure buds, cared about taking advantage of her vulnerability. He sent her items from her Amazon wish list, bought her things, and posted about it publicly. He also posted a framed photo of her next to a pair of handcuffs and a collar in what he called a shrine. Kaylee responded to one of his attempts with a message saying, your ex-girlfriend is missing and you're the main suspect. Do not try to butter me up and love bomb me when your heart holds no love, and you could never mean anything more to me than a piece of dirt on my floor. Despite this, Eric eventually showed up in person after Kaylee had a violent altercation with Preston and was placed in a hotel by the police. Basically, shortly after the police came for a wellness check and she's being put into inpatient therapy long term, and in his style, he took the opportunity to say he cared for Kaylee. It could be weeks, maybe even half a year until she's out. I genuinely care about Kaylee a lot though. While Kaylee was with Eric, he posted explicit content involving her online without her consent. She was documented on camera saying she was on medication and had been drinking. She was still under the legal drinking age at this point, and Eric was of legal age, which meant he may have purchased the alcohol. It was clear that he went there to fully take advantage of her. But then nothing really did materialize from his pursuit of Kaylee, as she chose to stay with Preston instead. Hey guys, update about the situation, cause everyone's going crazy. I do obviously like and care about Kaylee the flower girl, but she's choosing to stay with Preston. I can't make her do anything. And ultimately, if she's choosing someone else, then I can't make her do anything. If something happens later, then it happens later, Sim. Open to pursuing other women, as this has been an interesting but ultimately a bittersweet end. So she blocked him, an act that he did not take very well because he posted another video with the caption, I woke up blocked after everything I talked about and promised. I'm not mad at them for it. Nobody needs to apologize. I've always been patient. I've always been forgiving. I've always been reassuring. But I'm tired. I'm tired of being crazy. I'm tired of being the unrequited love. I'm too obsessive, like I'm a stalker. And stalkers aren't good. Eric was eventually arrested in connection with allegations that he had filmed Kaylee without her consent, and it was after his release that he released an 8-part video series attempting to explain his side of the Kaylee situation, which suggests even he understood the scale of the problem his behavior had created. In the first part, he talked about how he came to meet her and what transpired with Preston.
I have had a lot of people ask me to make this video, me to clarify the situation and say what happened, so here we go. So many of you may know that her boyfriend got arrested for domestic abuse and assault again, and she hit me up. We'd been talking on and off for a while now, as many of you know at this point, and I brought up the idea of me just going down and getting her. She was 100% down, so I did. I dropped everything I was doing and drove over 1,000 miles, 20+ hour round trip, because I cared about her, she wanted to be with me, I wanted to be with her, and I wanted her to be safe. Before getting there, there is actually a semi-truck accident. Awesome, right? Damages my car, destroys one of my tires, I have to pay a lot of money to get it replaced. Not a big deal, whatever, I'm alive. I get down there, I'm tired, I nap with what I can, help her pack up all of her stuff into my car, start driving back. I am very tired, so we end up getting a hotel. Ultimately, I have to call off work twice now due to the hotel situation. Still tired again because, like I said, I just hadn't been sleeping well. I hadn't slept much with her because I had to help her pack. I had to help her do a lot of things, and driving a very long time can take a lot out of you. So we're in another state at this point. We enjoy each other a little bit. I obviously kick my feet up and relax in the hotel. She does too. She orders some things, whatever. We stop and talk about what we want to do, what sort of life she wants to have. She decides that yes, she wants to do content and make money from that. And hey, I can bring a lot of attention to somebody. And a lot of people want to see me make content as well. You people can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm still an attractive man and I still have a lot of people interested in me. So, over the course of the next couple...
In the second part, he addressed the video he made when he went to meet Kaylee, saying that she was aware he recorded the videos.
And hey, I can bring a lot of attention to somebody, and a lot of people want to see me make content as well. You people can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm still an attractive man, and I still have a lot of people interested in me. So, over the course of the next couple of days with Callie, I record some photos and videos of her. Every single thing I have ever posted, and she knew I was recording her. Every single photo and every single video I have ever posted of her, I have shown her and asked, hey, do you like the way you look in this? And are you okay if I post it? I managed to get some sleep, and I wake up and I notice Callie is not in the hotel. And, you know, this is a little upsetting because I told Callie word for word that a lot of people told me that she disappears randomly and will just run away and just run off. And I told her I want her to be there when I wake up. And instead, what I wake up to is her gone and text messages saying that she Ubered off to a tattoo parlor, couldn't pay for the tattoos, and need me to come pay for them. Yeah, obviously, it's pretty annoying. But I do it because, one, what am I supposed to do? And two, obviously, I still care about her. But that's not really something good to be doing. And everyone knows that. And I'd like to think that deep down she knows that too. We keep driving back home. We get back to my place. We unload all of her stuff. Twinkle's there. We, you know, slowly try introducing her to my cats. But Twinkle hasn't really socialized with other cats very much because obviously she's just been moving with Callie, which not exactly the best for a cat. You want cats to be social with others. So I have to introduce them very slowly. We record some more content. Obviously, Callie has been trying to threaten me with lawsuits, things like that, so I have to watch what I say. I can only say so much.
The third part was about the lawsuit filed by Kaylee.
Obviously, Callie has been trying to threaten me with lawsuits, things like that, so I have to watch what I say. I can only say so much, and I'm sorry for that. I would love to give all the details, but unfortunately, I just can't. The thing is, that night when I went to sleep, Callie had been upset. She had been on live. People were saying some very nasty things to her. Callie had been on the phone with her brother, who, I'll be completely honest, I'm not a big fan of her brother. I have a different view of him now. They wanted her to go back for the Christmas holiday. Keep in mind that this is the girl who, when she was assaulted in a disgusting way that I won't even describe, when she was only 12 years old, by somebody in that family, I'll just go ahead and say, Miranda, her mother's, you know, her lover at the time, did some disgusting things to a 12-year-old girl, and I'll just leave it up to imagination what he did. And I'm going to let you know right now, kids don't lie about that type of thing. And if anyone wants to try to accuse her of lying when she was only 12 and is 100% a dead ringer for that type of you're a disgusting human being, and please never speak to me. And that's coming from me, by the way. If I think you're disgusting, you've probably really fallen off. To be completely honest with you, I have a pretty strong dislike of everyone in her family at this point. Because they see this young girl going through a domestic abuse situation, and do they help out? Do they try to keep, you know, their boyfriend of the young girl away from her, while she wasn't even really the correct age to be with somebody like that? If you know, you know. For some reason, Miranda, her mother, approved it, which not really surprising. It's not the first time that Miranda would let a young Callie.
The fourth and fifth videos were just him calling people out as hypocrites about the situation.
For some reason, Miranda, her mother, approved it, which not really surprising. It's not the first time that Miranda would let a young Callie get hurt under her watch. But every single one of them sees her in this situation, and Callie's been online for a while, let's be honest. We've all seen the condition she was in when she was growing up. But do any of them actually...
Then he described the police arrest in the sixth part of the series. The seventh and eighth part of the series...
Like 8 cops immediately corner me, and yeah, they were not taking any chances. I am handcuffed, placed in the back of a car, they have a search warrant for my place, they go through, they take my phone, whatever. Ultimately, I'm not arrested at the time. The cops tell me that they would like to speak to me at the station, they offer me a ride there and back. And I know never talk to cops, everyone will say never talk to cops, whatever, I don't care, I talk to the cops. So what? If anything happened, it's best to just get it out of the way. Say what happened, say what you did, and just deal with it. So I do that, I talk to the police. At the time, all I knew was, of course, what we did together. I don't know what she told the cops. I get a story told to me from some people that say that Callie, saying that Callie was not okay with me posting any of the content, which wouldn't surprise me. It turns out, however, that she has said more than that, and I find out at a later time. So anyways, I give the police my phone and give the police all the information, get into my phone, give the police, you know, everything they need to know, everything they need to do. I go back and I get a burner phone. I tell Callie flat out, I'm not mad at you even after everything, even after all of this. I will still gladly drive you back to Tennessee if that's what you want to do. Because I cared about her and I wanted her to be well. Does not take me up on that, and instead decides to get a Greyhound and abandon Twinkle with somebody else so that she can be rehomed, even though Had she driven with me, she would have kept Twinkle, kept all of her things, and would have been dropped off wherever she wanted. Ultimately, she goes back down there, and I find out that what she had told the police was even more than what I was told. She had apparently told
for him trying to set the record straight and calling out the lies she told to the police.
What she had told the police was even more than what I was told. She had apparently told them I have content on my phone, and that she had seen this content involving something that, let's just say, has the same initials as Cyberpunk. You know, C and then the other one, yeah. Which I want to say flat out, absolutely disgusting. I never have been interested in that, never will be interested in that, and never was interested in that. The police don't find anything like that on my device because there's nothing like that on there, and I have no idea why she would ever say something so heinous. But ultimately,
more recently, in a comment on a TikTok post asking people to talk about Vampdaddyevil lore, someone else came out to say he tried to flirt with them when they were still a minor in. He tried flirting with me, and I told him I was 15, and he said even better, and he tried to get my Insta. At this point, there is almost no doubt that the pedophile claims were not just allegations. The evidence is there for anyone who looks for it. The clearest window into how Eric actually behaves with people came not from his public TikTok posts, but from the screenshots and private messages that ended up being made public. The leaked messages to Ray show a pattern of love bombing followed by possessive and demeaning language. He told her he was better than every man she had ever been with, that she was lucky he was talking to her, and that he wanted to own her entirely. He also told her to stop sleeping around, and warned her that if she did not confirm her address for him, he was going to get angry. He also shared screenshots of a DDLG conversation with an unnamed partner, which he posted publicly on his TikTok page, with little apparent concern for privacy. In this conversation, he called her his little girl, told her she belonged to him, asked who owned her, and received the response, "You do, master." He also shared a photo of an actual young child with this same person, captioned it as looking like her, and received the response, "It's me when I miss you," to which he replied, "Oh, poor little girl." Beyond the whole age gap relationship stance and his DDLG opinions, he also subscribes to CNC. CNC refers to consensual, non-consensual scenarios which simulate assault and violate safety policies on dating platforms related to sexual violence. He posted a video about the ban, complaining that two consenting adults liking a consensual activity should not result in removal, missing the point that dating apps exist to connect people before consent has been established. His Tinder profile was permanently banned after he put CNC in his Tinder bio. As though the Tinder ban was not enough, he also posted videos on TikTok, reaffirming his love for CNC. His Instagram and Facebook accounts were also both removed from their platforms at various points, leaving TikTok as his primary space. He immediately released a video expressing his frustration at the ban, saying the only reason these things kept happening to him was because people were scared of him.
Guess who just got banned on Tinder? Guess who just got banned on Tinder? Me, of course, because of course I would. I get banned on everything. You guys took my Instagram away. You guys got my Facebook taken away. And at the end of the day, the only reason I can think this is happening is because, oh, big scary vampire. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That was basically him blaming other people for his misfortune, which was caused by none other than himself. As these screenshots and platform bans accumulated, internet commentators began documenting his patterns, transforming his comment sections from fans into a community dedicated to warning others about his behavior. Every time Eric is confronted with the substance of the allegations against him, his response follows the same sequence. He first denies that any wrongdoing occurred. He then argues that his critics are jealous, misguided, or simply do not understand dark humor. Then he pivots to talking about all the ways he has positively impacted the lives of the young women he pursued. When a YouTuber posted a video criticizing his content and his behavior, especially towards Ray, Eric made a response video saying, "In reality, I'm probably one of, if not the best, men Ray has ever spoken to in her entire life, and unfortunately, Ray just has problems doing what she's told, so it's not a successful, happy relationship."
We are going to respond to Darth Vader because I saw his little video. In reality, I'm probably one of, if not the best men Ray has ever spoken to in her entire life. And unfortunately, Ray just has problems doing what she's told, so it's not a successful, happy relationship. You criticize my videos and how I express myself and the things I say. You completely took things that happened out of context, and you try to paint me as some sort of villainous monster, scary, evil guy, which I am not.
Perhaps he needs someone to tell him that an 18-year-old woman who was groomed into a relationship. Not doing what she is told by a man pushing 30 is not a relationship failure. It is the correct outcome because that relationship should not exist in the first place. He also responded to allegations about Kaylee by posting that he was the only person actually standing up for her, that everyone else was just insulting and mocking her, and that he was the one putting his foot down on her behalf. He said this while his devices had already been seized by police over the explicit content allegations. The fact that I'm the one that has to put my foot down and stand up for a long-time victim because people don't want to acknowledge the signs and instead just insult her and make fun of her is disgusting. The good guy pivot is not accidental. It is a strategy designed to make anyone who criticizes him look like they are attacking someone who is just trying to help broken girls heal. It gives him cover and gives potential targets a reason to believe his stated intentions rather than his documented behavior. When you carefully evaluate his responses to direct allegations, you would realize he frames himself as someone who knew what he was doing, clearly informs his victims of what it takes to be with him. For example, he admits multiple times that he is a stalker who love bombs his targets. Another tactic he uses to deflect from the allegations is to frame himself as a savior. He loudly highlights the positive impact he claims to have had on his younger partners' lives and careers. Other times, he just straight up calls victims, who call him out a liar if there are no other places for him to hide. That was exactly what he did with Katrina, who said he was flirting with her when she was 15. He then said he was too busy dealing with Kaylee's domestic violence situation to respond properly because he was doing good things. People already see through his attempt to shift the blame to the victim, as this user pointed out. Can we do an updated version of this? Has legit being a risk. He just went from Ohio to Tennessee to see a girl who's super vulnerable. He also is currently victim blaming a girl who he tried to groom. At this point, the internet has had enough documentation to see through this good guy pivot structure. His private messages showed the predatory behavior. His real-world relationships showed the predatory outcomes, and his responses to it all showed someone who had been playing a long game and was running out of moves. However, there are still some individuals who defend him as fans, just like this user who got excited when he replied to him. And then there is this guy who defended his relationship with Ray. But one thing remains constant. There is no indication that Vampdaddyevil will change anything about himself. As of the time this script was written, Eric had been arrested, had his devices seized by police, and was facing multiple active allegations. His TikTok account remained active between detentions and the restraining order he is facing. He has been arrested over the lawsuit filed by Callie, over a Discord message, and also over being a person of interest in his ex-girlfriend's murder case. His post-arrest behavior was, if anything, more revealing than anything he had posted before. He admitted in a public message that he was obsessive, that he was a stalker, and that he had tried to get better but was better at concealing it and not being as creepy. He ended by saying there was no getting better for someone like him, and that it was best for everyone if he was gone. What is clear is that the internet did not buy the satire defense. YouTubers, TikTokers, and commentary creators spent significant time documenting his patterns in detail, and the documentation held up because the evidence was largely his own words on his own platforms. His arrest and the involvement of police did not stop him from posting, did not stop him from continuing to frame himself as the most attractive and desirable man in his corner of the internet, and did not produce any genuine accounting for what he had done to the people who encountered him. Eric's journey as Vampdaddyevil is a textbook example of how clout chasing can quickly turn a person into a lolcow. What started as an edgy gothic persona quickly degraded into a documented pattern of targeting vulnerable creators, exploiting massive age gaps under the guise of mentorship, and using toxic manipulation tactics behind closed doors. But as the internet continues to archive screenshots, bans, and receipts, Eric isn't viewed as a dark, mysterious vampire. He's seen for exactly what he is, a dangerous predator.